As mentioned before, lost wax lost its popularity in most of Europe save Italy, where it continued probably due to the long history of casting in this method since ancient times. On inspection of Vincenzo Gemito's water vendor and Auguste Rivalta's lion attacking a horse, one observes a fluid surface, intricate detail, and a cast that is generally lighter in weight than a sand cast. The interior of the lost wax cast usually shows residue of a plaster investment and does not have the deposits of gray sand that one finds in the interiors of sand casts. Variants can also appear in the editions of the same models, meaning that new plasters were produced as master models. Carrier-Belus's Undine, in addition to the nude model here, also exists with a veiled drapery over her body for more modesty. For the water vendor by Gemito, which was commissioned by the King of Naples, the Queen wanted pants. A version was produced. There exist versions of this sculpture nude, with removable pants, and also with pants cast directly on the figure. The two plasters by Gaspar show an alteration in the sex of the figures. Originally conceived as adolescents showing two young girls embracing, in a second version the artist added a codpiece making the subject male and female. This version was dedicated to the artist's friend, the poet Georges Olivier d'Estrie, who possibly may have requested the change. Among the plasters in the exhibition is an early work by John Gibson of 1826, Hylas and the Nymphs. The work was produced twice in plaster as well as in marble, currently in the Tate Gallery, London. The Royal Academy's own plaster version was destroyed by the students in the 1950s, a time when plasters were held in very little regard. This particular example was commissioned in plaster directly from Gibson by a Liverpool merchant, and the plaster has lasted through 2 centuries. Georges Min's Kneeling Youth is again an example of a plaster that was intended for exhibition. This rare model is one of the components of the Vienna Secession's fountain of 1900. The fountain is composed of 5 kneeling youths around the basin. It was assembled after the exhibition, and the plasters, which were property of the art historian Mayer-Graefe, were distributed to members of the secession. This particular sculpture was in the possession of Alfred Roller. Unlike these 2 examples, the boy with the water sack is a model intended to be used in the casting process. It is coated with shellac to protect it from sticking to the mold which it was made from. After its use, Min sold it to the Belgian brewer Christian de Meyer. John Singer Sargent's crucifix had yet another purpose. It is the earliest modello for his Boston Library commission. It has been polychromed so the artist could envision its effect in situ. It varies greatly from later models, when the artist included elaborate draperies along with the figures of Adam and Eve and a pelican below. Final version in the Boston Library is also in plaster. This early model did find another use when Sargent's sister presented it to an Anglican order in West Yorkshire, where it was venerated.
Shepherd Gallery is pleased to announce the publication of 19th and early 20th century European sculpture, a handbook, serving to aid the enthusiast in assessing, evaluating, and collecting these works of fine art. Included are a series of essays that clarify the aesthetic values germane to sculpture of the period, an up-to-date Foundry index, and the handbook lists casts in a variety of media accepted in official exhibitions throughout the 19th century. 19th and early 20th century European sculpture, a handbook, is available for $35.